Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Toon Review. Hope you've had a decent weekend, given the circumstances of this weekend. Very, very surreal experiences. However, the show must go on, as they say. And we just thought we'd do this show tonight, try and bring a bit of good crack, and finish your weekend off as you would normally start it off with the sort of TTR Sunday. And we thought we'd have a laugh because we thought we'd see where we were in the Fantasy Premier League, and it doesn't make good reading for some of us. Our expert that we had on the first fantasy football show is way down in something like 500 and odd players. What's gone wrong, Bill?
Well, things haven't gone our way. Just bad luck, really, and awful selections, and certain things happened that didn't quite go to plan.
But on the other hand, these two to the other side, and obviously Danielle's partner Lee doing very well. He's something like 13th, I think. And you were both in the top 70, which is very well played.
Considering the injuries I've had, yeah.
Well, yes. I mean, lots of injuries. I've made numerous mistakes, it's fair to say, since fantasy football kicked off. I've made umpteen transfers. I've made transfers to lose points. Last weekend I went berserk and lost about 28 points because I took everybody out my team. But when football does eventually start again, I'm confident that I have the right team this time to go and cause some problems and actually get some points. But we'll see. We'll have a look in the comments just before we get going. Gary, good evening, Toon Review family. Keep comments respectful and no all caps or duplicates. Michael, good evening. Tom, good evening. Julie, good evening. Harry says, evening, guys. I'm currently 164th. Don't boast. Don't boast. James, good evening. Paul, Gary says he's 57th. Right. Look, I'm not having gloating on you, Billy. This is not what we don't want. We don't want people gloating, especially, when we down in the depths of despair in this fantasy football.
I thought I was top of the conference. I did.
Well, I mean, listen, you're one of the strongest teams in it, Billy. That's what you can say. Holding everybody up. Corby, good evening. Andrew says, good evening, Paul, Billy, Danielle. You've missed Stato off, but never mind. Hi, everyone. Hope you all had a lovely weekend. Evening, everyone listening to the flat above me needs some cheering up. Oh.
That doesn't sound good.
Well, good evening, Rachel. Paul, good evening. Mary, evening, Toon Review family. Love to all of you. Andrew says, how are you doing with The Crown, Danielle? Oh, God. Yeah, listen, let's get this out the way before we even go any further.
Yeah, so I'm on series 2, episode 6 at the moment, which I've just literally stopped watching to come on here. Loving it.
Well, I'm sorry that we've stopped you watching of The Crown.
Well, priorities and all that. Of course, I couldn't let you down for the sake of The Crown, but yes, absolutely love it. I'm just at the bit where Margaret's had a photograph taken by her future husband.
Oh, yes. Have you watched The Crown before, Alex? So you watched that on Netflix?
I have not. I tried to stay clear of the missus's list of Bridgerton and Crown and stuff like that. I'm swamped with my backlog, unfortunately.
No, Bridgerton. No, I don't do all those kind of stuff. I just watch that. Andrew says, good evening, you lovely lot. Hope you're great. Doesn't make good reading for me, says Julie J. I take it she's down where we are.
Although you mentioned Netflix. Yes. She did watch that Figo documentary without me and then complains I don't watch anything on Netflix with her. And I just said, I would have watched that. It's football. Like, why did you watch that on your own? Definitely.
It's Figo. Fantastic as well.
I would have watched it 100%.
It's a strange. That's something strange to watch when you're not into football, isn't it?
Yeah. Wow. I don't know. I'll have to watch it.
Well,
it's good.
Indeed.
It's really good.
Samsonite says, evening, what a fantastic weekend it's been. The whole world is celebrating and rejoicing. I take it he's not into the royal family, but there you go. Les says, evening all. Class, Billy. They're laughing at you already, Billy, by the looks of things. Gary says he's going to have to change my name. I'll go by Wishy now. Good evening, Matt. Julie says, oh, Lord, I'm near the bottom. It's because I couldn't afford Haaland. You can afford Haaland if you play it right, though, Julie. You see, have we all got Haaland?
Yes.
Billy,
did you take Haaland? Billy, did you take Haaland out?
No, I've had him in the first place. I decided to go with Kane. And
you did.
shit.
That's right.
How's that going for you, Bill?
I mean, Kane's not been shit. He's just not been Haaland.
When he scored of the week, he actually missed the penalty as well and cost me points. So
I remember.
Yes, he did.
Harry Kane's kind of not been the greatest, but Mo Salah's been the biggest one. That's been awful.
Well, I took Mo Salah out. I have to say, I took him out. But there you go.
I've kept him purely because he'll score a hat trick the week I take him out, so I just can't. Because I took.
Well, I thought he'd do that, mate, Alex, and he didn't. To be fair,
well, the reason I'm not higher is because of Odegaard specifically doing that exact scenario where I had him in for week 1 and 2, and I just decided to take him out, and then he's been banging him in for fun. So, not happy about that.
Ben and Rosie, thank you for becoming a member. Welcome to the members club and the Toon Review family. Thank you very much for that. Les says, this is possibly my best weekends points-wise in the fantasy football. Yeah, I think it's probably Billy's as well, to be honest. With no games, Billy's probably got his best point scoring of the weekend.
Been a fantastic week. Well, it's been a fantastic weekend for us.
Aye, lad.
You can be sure of that.
Aye, lad. Tom says, every season I pick my team and think it's class, and then it all goes wrong. I think Billy's suffering from that. Francisco, cheers, lads. Lass, mods, and chat. Good to see you in fine spirits despite all. Great to see Stato back. Keith says, hello, everyone from the States. Go Eagles. Philly, not Crystal Palace. Up the A1 says, good evening. Hopefully a bit of fun tonight listening to everyone's experiences. Stato, all hail that flag. Yes, it's a very nice touch from Stato tonight. Good evening, and everyone. Hope you're all well, says Ian. Carl, good evening. Julie says, glad you like it, Danielle. It is really good.
Really addictive. Like, I'm going to have to work in a different room tomorrow from home now because it's just too tempting. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I have a feeling she'll be watching it while she's working. Paul says, good evening to you. Paul, Billy, Danielle, and Alex. In my fantasy league with my brother and friend, I am currently top. Well, if there's only 3 in it, then, you're not really challenging yourself there, Paul, to be honest. Julie says, Bridgerton's amazing. No, not having it. I don't like them Victorian crap things. No way. Evening, team. Hope everyone's well. I've not had time to watch The Crown, but watch the trailer and it looks fab and definitely need to start.
Oh, you need to start. Once you start, that'll be it.
You see, we knew this was coming, Billy. When we mentioned it to her on Friday, we knew this was going to happen. We knew she'd come on Sunday night. Hardly any sleep, binge watching, and then look at her now. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Very educational, though. I'm enjoying it.
Yeah. And as for Bridgerton, I've never been into period dramas, and I've had a few of them in my time.
Does anybody feel that cold breeze drifting across the air? Francisco says, a question to our fine hosts. Have you watched Welcome to Wrexham? I know the chat has, or at least some. I haven't watched it yet. No.
Is it on Disney or something? Yeah, I don't have it.
It is Disney it's on, isn't it?
It's on something that I don't have.
Yeah. Gary says, Billy, haven't you got that WD-40 yet? I think he's talking about your door.
Could be.
On game week 2, James was 6th, and now he's 390th.
Yeah, it can change like that, though.
Fall from grace, James. Jesus. Julie says to watch the new Cobra Kai last night. Original Karate Kid fans will love it. Cesare, good evening, buddy. Hi, all. Remember to keep comments respectful. Please, no all caps or duplicate comments. Enjoy the show. Good evening, Niall. Ryan says, been watching La Liga all weekend. What a league that is. No, I don't know.
I've seen a little bit.
There is some good football in La Liga.
I don't watch it.
Good evening, Geordie. How are you, man? Chipper says, no throbbing bonus from Mr. Sales tonight. Absolutely not. Still recovering from that, to be honest. Julie's went with Kane as well. Everyone's saying hello. Samsonite says about events in the Ukraine, Paul, nothing to do with the British royal family. Indeed, actually, that is a bit of good news if there is any coming from the Ukraine, seeing how that's going now. So, I agree. But we'll see how that goes. Good evening, everyone. Hope you're well from Belfast, says KB. Niles, it's great to see you four in fine form as ever. Love your channel, mate. Hopefully your fifth panel soon, Mr. The Legend himself, Mr. Sinclair. The Legend. He's a strange one. But we love him. We love him. Rachel's 133rd. Now, can we remember when this all kicked off and we said that we were going to start the Toon Review Championship? Rachel Lilly, you said you were going to be bottom. You said you had no chance. You had no idea what you were doing. And yet, you're round about 400 places above our expert.
I think.
And I was giving her tips.
You were.
I was giving her tips before the first week started.
Sorry, Danielle, what was that?
She was 80th or something the week before.
Yeah, I know. So I think Rachel's been playing an Eddie Howe with this, you know. You know what I mean?
100%.
I think she's been playing an Eddie Howe, saying that she's
understated herself. That's what she's done.
Yeah, that she's played it cool, saying that she knows nothing about it, and then all of a sudden, yes, bang, she's in there and beating everybody. Alex, you've got some teams. I was going to screen share, but you've got them already, so it's fine. You've got Danielle's team there.
Yeah, I just had it on anyway on the screen.
Any chance of zooming in just slightly, Alex? Are you able to or not?
We can indeed. So
can you zoom out? Can you zoom out of it?
So this is our glorious leader of the co-hosts. She's doing very well at the moment, Danielle. I mean, There's no point of me going through this. It's your team. Do you want to talk us through this? I mean, my initial thoughts were this has got to be over 100 mil, and I scrolled down. You've got over 3 million in the bank. I don't know how you've done that, but you've done a cracking job with the selection. It seems an expensive team.
Yeah, it's very good. I love Saliba. I've got to be honest. I only picked Saliba because of the song. I loved it, so he went in because of that. Obviously Trippier.
Yeah.
Saliba. It's my favorite of all time.
Saliba.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. We'll let you go with that one. Fair enough.
Trippier, obviously, because he's everything.
Well, it's Trippier. Yeah.
Cucurella. Originally, when I put him in my team, he was at Brighton, and then.
See, I've got him in. He's not giving me that many points, unfortunately.
And Sinchenko's just come back from the edge because he's been injured for a couple of weeks.
He has.
So he was almost transferred because I was getting a bit bored of the whole exclamation mark. Like, I haven't got time to waste with this.
Indeed.
Like,
how's Lloris treating you, by the way? Because I thought that was a brave shout.
He's made some good saves this season.
It wasn't fun when Tottenham played Chelsea and I've got Mendy as well. That wasn't fun. Didn't enjoy that at all.
25 total.
I was going to transfer him for Nick Pope, but I've got too many Newcastle players. So
I've seen a few do that. I've seen Foxy do that, who's in the lead. He swapped Mendy for Pope quite early on, actually. I wish I'd have done the same and got rid of De Gea.
Yeah, so if I wanted him, I'd have to do 2 more transfers, which means I'm not using points. So I'm not going to do that.
Now, Billy, I've got a bone to pick with you. There's a player in Danielle's team that I originally went for that you strongly advised that I didn't. Being a certain Declan Rice.
Chance. Yeah.
Now, I originally had him. I took him out, but seems to be doing extremely well.
Does he? How many points you got? Because he didn't score goals.
Just regular, like 6 or 7 points. He's really
He's got 18, Billy.
Not many, really, is it?
Well, it's enough to get Danielle into the 60 odds. It's,
I mean, it's more than the whole team's got, but I mean, as
for context, Danielle is 38th, so she's doing very well.
Yes, she is 38. Never mind the 60 odds. She's 38th.
So far,
Haaland, yeah.
Madison's another one of me walking wounded from the last 2 games, so he was nearly out as well because I've got no patience for injured people. Martinelli, son, because I love him. Always wanted to sign him for Newcastle, just haven't done it.
Yeah.
Mitrovic and Haaland. Now I'm considering doing a front 3 and putting Isak in, but I don't know yet. I have to think about it. And Lamptey's going as well.
That's my front 3. I've got Isak in with them just because I hate not having 3 NUFC players on the pitch at the same time.
Right, well, that's my front 3 as well, and I want to know why I'm 305th We'll get my team up shortly.
Is Holland been your captain recently?
Yes.
No.
Has he been your triple captain recently?
No.
That'll be why.
I've still got my triple captain in the bag. I'm saving it.
So have I. Oh, no, I haven't, have I? Because I used it on fucking Salah the week he didn't score any when they scored 9, when Liverpool scored 9.
That's right, Billy, yes.
But I've got rid of Lamptey and I brought in Cancelo from Man City.
Oh,
Uh-huh.
okay. Gary says, Danielle, it's a constant all the way every time. Rachel says, Bridgerton is brilliant. Geordie Howeman says, no footy, so watch the cricket all weekend. Stokes is amazing. Yes. Even a Mrs. Toon review. Lovely day with her today. Just carpet and floor and shopping.
Oh, I love that kind of shopping. I need new
Yes,
carpets.
Got me whole new house done today.
Lovely.
With flooring and carpets all done and dusted, so that's a massive weight off my mind. Niall says, is the Four Horsemen ever coming back, Paul? Missed that show you used to do with all the guys. Brilliant laugh and banter that was. Niall, in a word, no. Moving on. Francisco says it's on Hulu.
Oh, I've got Hulu. Hang on.
Yeah,
What's
you
on
will have
Hulu?
Hulu. The Wrexham thing, it's on Hulu as well.
Yeah, I've got it
Because
through
Hulu's
Amazon.
an American.
I need to get some of them. I want to do, like, when I'm playing Football Manager, I want to binge watch Ted Lasso and the Wrexham thing. I haven't got any of the streaming services.
Ted Lasso's nice.
Ted Lasso, like
It's hilarious.
Yeah.
All I've seen in the preview of him, he's having to clarify why the game's not on Wednesday when he's played against Sheffield Wednesday or something like that, and he's really confused. Like, it does look funny. I need to watch it.
Tom says the Crown is educational, but you can't take everything as read. There's a lot of imagination went on and speculation. Yes, we did say the other night that it was.
I'm believing it all for now.
It was well, you would, yeah. It's fictional as well.
I'm
but
here
the
for the
fictional
drama,
bits stand out a mile. Oh, there's a lot of drama.
Danielle,
the Crown is really good, and it's great that Billy is on good form. When isn't Billy on good form? Sophia says, I'm off to Edinburgh on Monday with my mum to pay my respects to the Queen. If I get on the telly, I'll give a big wave to Duchess Danielle, Lady Susan, Lord Paul, Baron von Stato, and Billy the Jester.
Hang on a minute. Everybody else
Baron von Stato. That's a good name, that, man. I would be proud of that.
Since when was I Dutch?
Yes, Baron von Stato.
We should never have played against Mainz. That's not Mainz. Who did we play against? 1860 Munich.
Yeah, well, look, we know you, Alex. I'm sure he'll come into the Premier League one day, mate. I'm sure he'll make you proud one day. Ben and Rosie say hello and thank you all. I've been here for almost a year watching on the sidelines. I thought it was criminal I hadn't signed up as a member earlier. Thanks for all that you guys do. Thank you very much. Really appreciate that. Sean says, I'm currently 35th in the Toon Review League for Fantasy. Foxy Bingo. I'm coming for that top spot.
Ooh, that's fighting talk.
Well, it must be.
When you got a way off, he's doing very well. You'll have to still have your triple captain.
Susan says, please no spoilers on The Crown. What? Every time I ask you if you're going to watch it, I'm not watching that crap. She's not
Susan,
into the royal family at all.
It's brilliant.
Have you changed your mind, missus? Oh, it's gone not like. Oh, and by the way, before I forget, massive well done to everybody for who did the North Run today. Running definitely isn't my thing. I've done it. I did it for years.
Doing that, unless I could do it on rollerblades or something.
I'll tell you what, and well done to Eddie again from Tyneside Live. I just watched this video earlier on. He's getting in there with his little bloody press bands and stuff like that. But he managed to interview Brendan Foster and Gabby Logan and some of the other guys. Brilliant. It's a really good video, actually.
The Queen.
He did.
People's reactions to the Queen and stuff.
He's doing really well.
Yes.
But that's what his channel is basically. It's football as well, but he also does history on Tyneside and stuff like that, and really good.
If you want an update, Finn Lachenbacher has got 3 goals, and 1860 München are joint second in the 3rd Bundesliga, so they're doing really well.
Wow. Just want to say that name again.
Get promoted. Nah, it's done now. That's it. That's my like quarterly quota of funny names.
Indeed, Finn Lachenbach and Smachenmachen. Yeah. Anyone seen the Michael Sheen clip floating around on the book doing his speech to Royal Wales up to play England? Quality. Yeah, he did it on what's the Sky One show called, man? The sports show. What's it called? James
League of
Corden
Their
used to
Own.
present
League of
it.
Their Own.
League of Their Own. Yeah, he did it on there. It was absolutely brilliant. If you haven't seen it, it's kicking around on social media.
Yeah, I retweeted it the
really
other day.
is
It was
good.
amazing.
Julie J says, I'm in the relegation zone, very near the bottom. Yeah.
Plenty of time left, Julie. Plenty of time.
Billy, any reason you sounded like Shaun the Sheep there?
Well, I'm not in the relegation zone. I'm about a place above it, but we're fighting for our lives. You know.
How's the kebabs, Billy? Are the kebabs okay though?
Oh, champion.
Nice.
I found a lovely little place just down by where I let the dog run by the river.
Right. What about the bacon, Billy? What about the bacon?
How's the bacon, you say? How's the bacon, you say?
Aye. How's the bacon? Yeah. No spoilers on Cobra Kai for Cesare. I might have known Cesare would be into all that. But, you know, you can just imagine him like watching Cobra Kai, and then the next day he's down at the beach doing all these hassle moves on all the great white sharks that he wrestles.
Drop kick a shark.
It was
exactly,
sad. It was sad in the last one when he died. Oh, sorry.
Oh dear. Ryan says, Billy, we need another watch along for the UCL this week. Well, it depends if he wants to change the game halfway through.
Hey, I'm a man of the people.
You are. Yes.
You are that kind of.
I think it's probably best we stick with English teams, to be honest, because I think they get more traction.
Oh, it was very
funny
funny
watching mullered.
Yeah, watching Liverpool get mullered. I'm pretty happy with my analysis of our game against Liverpool, suggesting that they are running out of steam and they need to recuperate because, I mean, that just happened. They just got put 4 past. So,
The goal where Trent stood there watching, Gomez stood there watching was hilarious.
Unbelievable. I mean, if Jurgen wants to take his anger out on somebody, then Trent is the man at the minute. There's no doubt about that. He is the man.
Trent's just confirmed he's not on the plane to Qatar with that little stunt.
Absolutely.
There's no way.
Peter says the Queen was such a babe when she was young.
Very attractive
Danielle?
young lady.
She was stunner, in my opinion.
Mary says some people are dark horses. It's obviously talking about Fantasy Premier League, but I don't know who the dark horse is. Well, who knows? Gary says I'm blighted with injuries. 4. Still pleased with 200th in the league.
I feel you, Gary. Like, I understand what you're going through right now. Like, I had literally no fit players apart from Mendy on my bench.
Indeed. Now, Billy, you think you're having it rough in the Premier League at the minute in the Fantasy League, right?
Yeah.
My good old matey PD Proudlock. I'm 591st in the table, but it's taking part that matters the most.
See, I read that as 59th, and I was going to take the piss for patronising me, but absolutely not.
591st or first, I think he's meant to say there.
I don't know how did you guys just pick Bournemouth players? Did you break the game?
I don't know what's going on there with PD. I really don't. Julie says I ditched Rice when West Ham was shit at the bottom of the league. He cost me points by getting booked. Foxy, I am buzzing to be leading the way. As it stands, must say Salah has been such a letdown so far, has barely scored any points. Might be getting rid. My patience is running out. Well, Foxy, well done on leading the way.
Good advice, Foxy.
As soon as we sell him, he'll score a hat-trick. Guaranteed.
Well, he didn't when I took him out, but then again, that's me, and it's very, very different for everybody else. Maybe I should put him back. Lisa says, oh, loved The Crown. I binge-watched it also. Feel-good series, says Lisa. Gary says, Danielle, go you. You go, girl. I can't get away with doing that. No, I don't. Yeah. It's not my thing doing that. It really isn't. Billy, what about you? Do you want to try that? Just like you go, girl, with it.
You go, girl. I can't do anything else.
You've got to click your fingers in that, though. It's just like,
go, girl. You got it. You got it in the bag. I ain't saying anything else.
I didn't know where that was going. Okay. Gary says, I've really got into the Rings of Power, already loving the House of Dragon.
No spoilers. I haven't seen either yet.
Okay. And by the way, those that are going to kick off that this is not a football show again, there is no football to talk about at the minute. We will touch on football at some point. Where we are. We're doing Fantasy Premier League. But it's all about just having a good chat with your mates, like we're in the pub. That's what this show's all about tonight. Just a feel-good factor, put smiles back on people's faces and rub it in because Billy's shit at fantasy football.
It's almost like when you started playing Football Manager, when you were shit at that, remember?
Wow, Danielle, is it, you know,
Billy,
anyway,
I got you.
I'm
We'll
not
do
shit
it.
at any. I haven't played it. I haven't.
Whenever we get around to getting Paul to do a second channel, we'll definitely do some Football Manager and FIFA.
I haven't
it's
played
coming.
Football Manager for weeks now. I must start getting back. But FIFA's coming out shortly as well, and I'll be shit at that. So there you go. Let's have a look. Sean says, "Oh, you're 3 places behind me. I'm 35th." Billy hates Salah. Says Johnny, how are you, man?
I've actually got to the stage now where I think it's me that's stopping him from scoring, so I'm keeping him on purpose.
Yeah, absolutely. We seem to have 2 Foxies. One's just with FOXY, and then we've got Foxy with a double X and a double Y. Good game for people to watch this weekend with no English football is Boca Juniors against River Plate. Yeah, that's a seriously big classic. All that. Carl's 198th. Gary says, Billy, you are class. I think you've got your own fan club going on there, Billy. Seth said, I was 23rd last time I checked. Is footy on this weekend, says Sean? I think it will be. I think the only games that'll possibly be changed are the London fixtures. So I think they're looking into doing that, aren't they? They're looking at changing the 3 games in the Premier League that are in London. Maybe reversing them. I don't know whether that would be an idea or playing at a neutral ground, but we'll see how that goes. Or just postponing them altogether.
I think it's also down to that they're a bit concerned about potential certain fan bases reaction to a potential national anthem being played, perhaps, and how that would look to other countries.
Yeah.
But I'm sure, like, I mean, I've got.
Well, listen, I mean,
Saturday,
massive
so
shout
out. God.
Yeah, massive shout out to West Ham, by the way, on Thursday night, because that was incredible. Before their European game, that was just at the London Stadium. If you haven't seen the clip on YouTube, please go and watch it after the show. Because
I've got a question.
Okay.
Because I'm a bit thick, so I'm just going to ask you now because you're all more intelligent than me. So on Saturday, for example, if the game goes ahead and the national anthem is played, are we singing it in tribute to the Queen?
No, you sing God Save the King.
Queen. Oh, right.
Yeah.
Okay. Just because it's all about remembering her.
It is, but it's all about the new monarchy as well. So I think you have to go with
like a knobhead, do you know what I mean?
You have to go with what the anthem is now, which is God Save the King.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that. I think they should wait until the coronation to change.
Yeah, but
I know it's always how it's been
proclaimed,
done,
hasn't he? I mean, there was a proclamation in Durham that the day as well, so pretty much everywhere he's being proclaimed the king. And I did have to laugh at him yesterday when he was in that room, and then he ushered the butler in to move that pen. He was like, move that pen, please.
I don't. Without getting too political, right? I don't.
No, that's not like you, Danielle.
I don't understand the whole hoo-ha about it. Like, the not my king trending and stuff, and saying that he's shown his true colours. Like, he's under a lot of pressure right now.
But do you know what it is? I think he was actually grinning. You know, if you look at him, he's kind of smirking.
I just still feel like he's under a lot of pressure. So
yeah.
I mean,
God, he must be exhausted as well. By the way, you know, he's been up and down the whole of the UK. He's been literally thrown around into room after room, doing this and that and meeting people. God, he's 73 for God's sake. You know, the guy is probably knackered. But I think he was grinning me. I
agree with you. I think it was
I think it was like his personality, wasn't it?
Yeah, but they've kind of slowed it where it looks like he's scowling in, really. I thought he was grinning. I was laughing at it when he did it.
Outside Buckingham Palace, when somebody actually shouted to him, Charles, have a pint. And he turned around and he said something like, "Oh, don't worry, I'm going to," and then smiled. You know, I mean, that was class.
Bless him.
And also, it was brilliant to see the 2 princes yesterday. I have to say that.
I mean, I was crying.
Well, you were crying, yes. You were messaging saying, "I'm gone. I'm completely gone." And hats off to Meghan as well. The shit she's taken, and then she stood up to everybody yesterday.
It was the Paddington Bear for me.
Oh, the little girl,
when she gave William the Paddington, he was like, "Shall I keep this, or would you like it to go with the flowers?" And then he said to the lady behind him, "Give that to the children. Keep that for the children." I thought, "Oh, that's it now."
And as we're giving out tributes to football supporters, the West Ham ones has been said today. Can I shout out to the Crystal Palace fans who started their minute silence 5 days before the Queen actually passed away? brilliant. You know, such
yeah, you're talking about that picture that was taken of the amount of spare seats at St James
I nearly
the other
did a
week.
PD there. I nearly did a PD.
Yeah, you did. Because there was a photo came up on Twitter of the empty seats that Danielle did point out, actually, that I didn't see. Because obviously I sit in the leisure, so I don't see the empty seats that were there. But my God, I didn't realize.
I agree with you guys. I mean, Palace are in a really good place right now. Good manager, good squad, good build, good atmosphere.
They've always had shit away support, though. They always have.
They just didn't fancy it against the 70 Mags.
Strange. I think they're a very healthy club right now, and it's just odd that they've not got the following. It's very odd. Very odd.
I've never seen this guy in the chat before. Phoenix Pork Pie. The new series of Ted Lasso is coming in October.
I haven't seen the first one yet.
Rachel wants to know where you're at in The Crown, Danielle. I'm watching it again.
Series 2, where Margaret's just had a photograph taken by a soon-to-be husband, and it's all like causing hell on in the press because it looks like she's naked when she's not.
Okay. Annie says exactly the same. Finn Lachenmacher has scored 3 goals in 5 starts. Potential number 9 for Newcastle there, right?
I don't know about that. Not in the 3rd Bundesliga. But they've only lost once, so...
Yeah. Stephen's putting you right here. Sorry, Stato. Von is German. Van is Dutch.
Oh, that's very true. It's not Von der Sar, is he? Von der Beek.
Von der Beek. Von der Scheid. Sean says, I mean, like the game against Bournemouth, has that been cancelled, or do we think it will? No, I think it'll go ahead.
I hope it'll go ahead.
I think it will.
It would be nice for everyone to be able to get together.
Yeah. Listen, I think the Premier League will play the games this weekend simply because of there was a large amount of fans who wanted to go and pay yeah, exactly. They don't want to lose too much money either. Rachel says, smacker, whacker, mackem, tacker. Gary says, great show tonight. Thank you all. Sophia's laughing. So's Mary. Pissing myself at Billy. You're at it again, Billy. Can Paul or Billy do the same thing as Michael Sheen, but for the English? Well, you just wait till we do our World Cup shows, my friend. Then you will see English passion coming through, right? Because normally I don't give a toss about the England team, but the tournaments, different kettle of fish, man. Different kettle of fish. And we will be bringing you the best World Cup coverage right here on the Toon Review as well. So that will be coming up, of course, later on in the year. Yes, Susan, I know you love Cobra Kai.
Oh, Miss Piggy, wasn't it?
Good. Sorry?
Yeah, it was.
Oh, Miss Piggy.
Hey, Piggy, don't hit me like that. I don't like it when you slap me about. Anyway, Stiff Gators says 100% another UCL stream. Seeing Liverpool in the mud was amazing. Andrew says, I'm happy being 36th, but I don't think I'm staying there as benched, boost, and wild carded. So he's lost them now. I don't think I've done them yet either.
I used mine against me will. Somebody else did that for us, me bench boost. And then I've done my triple captain when Haaland scored the hat-trick last game week, I believe. Yes. But I've still got my wild card and I've still got, I think that's it, isn't it? You don't get
I've still got everything, so
have I, because I don't really know how to use them, but never mind.
Just hit the button?
Well, obviously you just hit a button, Danielle, but
you say that's how you do it?
That's how you do it. I don't know why I broke in the song there, because it wasn't actually a song. Cesare says, Paul, you're spot on with me after Cobra Kai and the crane kick on the beach, mate. You know, you can just see him running down like he'll have his muscle vest on and he'll be running down to the Baywatch theme tune. He'll see a great white in that water about 20 yards offshore. You'll see the fin, and all of a sudden the music will kick in. Cesare sprinting down, karate kicking as he makes his way down to the beach, and then he just dives in and literally does a spin kick right into the shark's face. Knocks it out, takes it home, and has a bit of sushi.
KOs them out of nowhere.
Absolutely. Pravinja Chandra, please don't talk about the Queen. You had a separate stream for that. I'm here for fantasy football. Can I just point out, it's a free world, okay? And this is mainly about fantasy football. However, I'll stress, like I stressed on Friday, that this is something historical that we are living through. And if people want to talk about that on tonight's show, because it's just a show just to Have a good time, bit crack and a bit talk, like we are in the pub. If people want to talk about the Queen, then they will, and so will we. We will talk about fantasy football as well. We will talk about anything. So please don't come on here telling me what to do and not to do. At the end of the day, I'm the host. These guys are with me. We talk about what we want to talk about. If you don't like it, don't watch it. Okay? We are doing loads on fantasy football. We're only half an hour into the show. So chill your boots. Okay? Don't piss me off that early on a Sunday night. Are you okay, Annie? Says Stu. He gets that every time he comes in the stream. Gary says 144th in fantasy football. Great show, guys, as usual. Cheers, Gary. It must be nice to be in the high 144s. Stu says, evening, Paul, Danielle, Billy, and Alex. Everybody are eat. We are. Gary says, Alex, you're the man. How are they 500 and odd? Gary, that is a question that even Billy can't answer. It's just where he is.
For services to football, because he's keeping some more Salah on his team. So really, he's doing everyone else a favour. If you think about it.
Carl says, is Klopp related to the BG family?
He had a tragedy last Thursday at West Wednesday.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Andy says, perhaps you should start a Fantasy St. John's Ambulance League. Yeah. But listen, we'd still be bottom. Let's be honest. Jurgen, the long lost member of the Gibb family. Absolutely.
Sorry.
Do you know what? I did that karaoke once. I've had a few because for some strange reason, I think it's because I don't have my tonsils anymore. You know, I can get really high pitched sometimes. It's outstanding. Do you remember that there was a Scissor Sisters song, "Cause You're Filthy"?
Yeah.
Yeah. I did that. "Cause you're filthy, who are looking gorgeous." Oh dear. I'm not lubricated enough to do that. Jed says, I'm 170 mid-table. Should have had our Mr. Pope. Ryan says, Billy sounding like Ice Cube praising his daughter in some kind of movie. Wow. Okay.
I'm with him.
Yeah, Stiff Gators says Newcastle FIFA ratings. Joe Linton got to be 90 minimum, or the game is fake news. I think he's only about low 80s. You know,
he's not even 80s. I think he's 78.
Yeah, I think I read something that he's really bad.
They've absolutely shafted us, to be honest. I'm hoping that it changes.
What a surprise!
He's 78. McTominay's 79 or 80, something like that.
That's it, isn't it? Just what's Fred?
Come
94.
on.
Fred's always overpowered on FIFA at the beginning, or every year.
Well, I mean, this is for tomorrow night, but Fred scored 4 goals last year, and Joe Linton also scored 4 goals, so they can.
Don't forget that, guys. By the way, really good show coming up tomorrow night at 8:00. We're talking a few sort of international football, mainly about can Joe Linton make the Brazil squad. We're going to be talking about Bruno, Nick Pope's chances, Trippier's chances, and all that kind of thing for the World Cup. So, as there's no football to talk about and no reviews or anything like that, that should be a great show tomorrow night. So, I think there's only the 3 of us. Danielle, you'll be early starts again this week, no doubt, are you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Chipper says, is it true Robson Green is starting your tuna review channel? Well, we're in conversation, Chippers. I have to say, we are in conversation. Bradley Clasper says, we got a link for the league, please. Oh, are you kidding me, Bradley? Listen, we've put the league up 1,000,000 times. I'll try and get it to you, Brad. Don't worry. Stato, whose team have you got next?
Well, I've just got mine up because I was at the main screen, so I've got to scroll quite far down to find yours. Sorry. So I've had a bit of a mare, to be fair. I started off with De Gea in goal for the first 2 weeks, and obviously Man United got thumped 4-0, 4-0. Because despite Man United being rubbish last season, De Gea actually had a blinder. He was their player of the season, was incredible at shot stopping, and as they've changed their style, he was crap. And now as soon as I took him out of the team, he's actually started doing well. But I've got Sarr in instead. Trippier, Perisic, Cucurella. I've actually just got rid of Botman, so which means he's going to score next game. So he's due one, to be fair.
Why would you do that, Alex?
I was struggling a little bit for points because I had the same issue as Danielle with Zinchenko injured, Bruno injured. I had too many injuries. I needed some safer points, and Perisic is safe points, whereas Botman is hopefully going to score soon, but we'll see. And obviously, we were supposed to be playing West Ham away, so that was in the thoughts as well. So Trippier, Perisic, Cucurella at the moment, and then I've got the same issue as everybody else. Is Salah's just not given enough points as people would hope. Bruno's meant to be in the starting 11, but I've got Ward-Prowse because Bruno's injured. Ward-Prowse is fairly safe for points, 2-id level. Kulusevski's one that I really like. I don't know why. I don't see him not seen him in many people's teams, but I think he's great. And then my front three is the same as Paul's, as we've said. Isak, Holland, and Mitrovic. Tons and tons of points. And then I've got Mr. Injury bench. Is literally injured for most of the start. Well, Lamptey's been all right. He's just not played. And De Gea's just been crap until I substituted him out. So, and I am doing, how am I doing? I'm 92nd for the Toon review. So I was like 60th or something, but it's gone.
Yeah. If you want to find my team, Alex, I'm 305th.
305th.
Yeah, get cracking on that.
I'll scroll in.
Stu, I'm not putting that up on the screen, mate, but I do know what you mean about Mr. Sinclair and what Trevor Sinclair, that is, in his tweets. I'm sure he will be dealt with in the proper way, to be honest. But it's not for us to talk about on here. But he will get his comeuppance, no doubt. Julie says, "Oh, Billy, this is why we love you." Stiff Gator says, "Shout out to all three of Palace's away support." James says, "Me and my dad are going to the Bournemouth game. Hope to see you there." We'll be there by the Jackie Milburn stand before the game, as usual, in our own spot. I will be interviewing as well, so get yourself on for the vlog. I don't know what happened.
If you want to get a hamster out, Alex, to jump on your wheel, I'm 506th.
Well, you can
already tired scrolling down to 305. There you go, we got there.
Yeah, it's a long way, Billy, but he will get there. Tom says, to pinch a joke, I retweeted on Twitter earlier, there's people have milk in their fridge that have seen 2 prime ministers, 2 monarchs, and 2 Chelsea managers. Absolutely. Sophia says, I love a bit of Billy. Okay. Mark says, the London games might not be played this weekend. Yeah, that's what we mean. Andrew says, World Cup shows. Now I'm getting too excited. Tangy says, do you think War Flags will do a tribute to the Queen? Perhaps that image of the Queen presenting the FA Cup to us would be perfect.
I don't think so.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. It's up to them, to be honest. We'll see what they come up with. Cobra Kai is legitimately one of the best series going. Okay. I don't really bother with it. I wasn't a big Karate Kid fan. Listen, if it's not got Mr. Miyagi in, what's the point, is what I say. Wax on, wax off, bollocks. Harry says, my dad surprised me with tickets to go see England versus Germany for my 18th birthday, and he told me the day before the Queen died, the atmosphere will be one to remember. Absolutely, it will. Phoenix Pork Pie says, Paul, been watching Toon Review since your takeover show. I'm 74 and crap with technology. Took me 5 minutes to type this. Hey, that's all right, my man. That's fine. Paul says, I'm flying out to the Philippines on Saturday, and when the state funeral on the 19th, I will be in the Philippines' nice, warm sunshine. It certainly will be, no doubt out there. Up there, one says, it just shows the Royals are humans. King Charles III will have been stressed to hell, and it was so funny seeing him. Did you see him put the pen in his pocket instead of putting it back?
He pulled it out of his pocket first, didn't he? I'm sure he did.
Boris did the same. He pulled the pen out of his pocket and put it back. Love the show. Great entertainment, says Stu. No problem. Sophia says, RKO. Do you watch wrestling, Danielle?
I used to.
Yeah. Who was it that did the RKO? Was it
Randy Orton?
Randy Orton. Yes. Can I get away with that name? Listen, why would people call their children Randy?
It's not his real name, I don't think.
Randall, short for Randall.
Yes, actually, there was an English.
I mean, to be fair, we shortened Richard to Dick, so we can't really talk, can we?
Actually, we got an imported Durham come over from Canada. He was kind of, I think he had definitely a bit of sort of Asian, like sort of Japanese or Chinese, I think. He was called Randy Wong. He got sacked after 3 games. He was shit. But just thought I'd mention that.
I mean, they normally assign themselves an English name when they come over from those countries in Asia that don't have an alphabet like we do, because it's just impossible otherwise.
Yeah. Mary says, Paul, you show off. Obviously, our brother there. Francisco says, what are your thoughts on the whole Chelsea managerial mess? Listen, it's typical Chelsea, isn't it? I mean, it doesn't seem to have changed from one owner to the other.
I feel very sad for Brighton.
Absolutely, but I wish Graham Potter all the best. I'm not sure it's the move that he should have gone for, but hey, listen, obviously every manager wants to manage at the top level. He's got a very big job ahead of him. I just don't understand why they gave Tuchel all that money to spend in the summer and then give him 6 games. It beggars belief.
Especially some of the way they drop points with Mendy just like forgetting how to control a football. Like it's ridiculous. I'm more annoyed about the fact that we've had to play Brighton already at their place because we've essentially played the best version of Brighton this season. So there's a bunch of other teams are going to get Brighton in a rebuild or in a new manager situation, whereas we've had to play them sort of at their peak. And I'm a bit frustrated about that because if we played them, if they get a new manager and it doesn't quite work straight away, we could have got 3 points from that match, whereas, other people are going to get the benefit of that.
Yeah. John says, I'm 521st in the league, being transferring players for fun without realising you lose points. Yes, John. Yeah. Andrew says, more like Billy Gibb. Billy Gibb, yeah. Question for Statos says Samsonite. In order to be sub 500, would they have done better drawing players out of a hat?
I mean, potentially.
Let me ask.
I think the people that are in the 500th plus have just not chosen Haaland, and then the ones they have chosen, they've just been quite unlucky with. There seems to be a lot of people who have been hit with similar injuries. A lot of people have got the Bruno injury. A lot of people have got the Zinchenko injury. A lot of people have obviously just Googled good fantasy team ideas for this season because a lot of blueprints quite similar if you click on all of them. But you got to get Haaland in. You just got to. He's going to score a ton more goals. You've got to have him in your team.
Indeed. Johnny Ola says, I saw that photo of Klopp and thought they never did find Shergar, did they? Rachel says, what are your go-to karaoke songs? Mine is Faith by George Michael. Interesting. Danielle?
I don't do karaoke.
No.
It's for the good of everybody's hearing.
Right. Alex? Don't tell me you've never done a bit of karaoke with that guitar in the background for so many shows.
I've done some funny ones. I'll tell you one I did last year. I actually did Blade and Races last year. I was extremely pissed, though.
Well, a lot of people are still waiting for the Fog on the Tyne rendition, Alex, to be fair.
That reminds me, you know John's theme tune, which is a version of Blade and Races?
Yeah.
I think it's Tony singing it. You listen to the voice. His co-host. Really? You have a listen. You have a listen to the voice. It's the same kind of tone as what Tony's got. I'm starting it off here. I think it's him singing it.
Wow. I'll have to go and check that out. Mm-hmm. Stiff Gators. Joe Linton's a 78 on FIFA. That's disgraceful.
Ridiculous.
Phoenix Pork Pie said, should have said hello first. Hiya, Paul, Danielle, Billy, and Stato, and all the mods. Adrian's loving being 609th in the Fantasy Football League. You think yours is bad, Billy? Adrian's having an absolute Castoria. But there's plenty of time left.
I'm going to go and have a look at these teams. I know I've got yours up, Paul. I'm going to bring another window. I want to see how this is possible. I just don't get it.
Phil says he has some fantasies, but it's not for here. Right, are you ready to bring my splendid team up, Alex? The team that is going to, do a Newcastle United and rise like a phoenix over the next few weeks on fantasy football into the top 10.
Okay.
Here we go. Look at it.
Gone with Pope.
Don't circle Botman because, the fact is Nick Pope's made the most saves this season in the Premier League, by the way. I just have to point that out.
That's my dilemma, though. I mean, I don't want to use points to get him, but I'm going to have to, I think.
And Reece James, I think, is an absolute must.
Well, I mean, you're fortunate because he should have been sent off last week, so you're lucky he didn't get docked points because he kicked out at someone.
But he wasn't. Botman, listen, could have scored against Palace, was denied by a great save. Gabriel is started really well this season. That midfield is a powerful midfield now. I'm really happy with that midfield. Bernardo is staying at Man City, so I'm happy to keep him there. Odegaard's on fire. Maddison will come good again once he's fit. Raheem Sterling is Raheem Sterling. And look at that front three, man. You just cannot... They're on fire. And then on the bench, well, Zinchenko, yes, no, but I told you why I put him in, Alex, right? Was because of him below you.
If you're not going to use him, you just got to sell him for the money. Like, there's no point in having him on the bench.
He'll get your points going forward, attacking wise, right? That's where he'll get your points. And Zinchenko is going to be playing more midfield, I think, for Arsenal this season.
I think Arsenal will come out of this slump. What did I say? Arsenal? Sorry, Liverpool. Liverpool will come out of this slump at some point. When Thiago comes back, they will start performing. Once they've recovered, they just look knackered. But just
and Dewsbury Hall's a fantastic youngster.
Can I look at
what you're doing now?
Yeah, I want to see. Can I see your transfers? I think I can.
No.
I can.
Yeah,
I can.
look at that.
7 transfer. Let's look at his transfer history. Stop him in. Look at this.
Whoa!
Oh my days!
Hey!
What's gone on here?
Do this for the others. Hey,
fucking Steve Cooper.
We got Nottingham Forest.
It takes some organising, right? When you realise who's starting.
You're so far down the league, mate, because you've used all them points.
Yeah, I must admit I have lost a lot of points through transfers, but I am happy with what I've got now.
Have we done this then? You got rid of. So you have Messi, Cash, Cucurella is gone, Pascal Gross has gone, Salah, Bruno, Jesus. You've had a right culling here, haven't you?
Bruno's always injured, right? So I put Bernardo in.
Injured.
Bernardo's going to get more points than Bruno this season, right?
This is why you're so far down, because you've done 43 transfers.
Well, I've done 7, Alex, right? So you're button your shithole, right? I have not.
Small difference.
Right? Listen, you have to mix and match to get you, to get to where you want to be in life. And I'm sorry, but I am now happy with my team.
Dust ourselves down.
Right?
Exactly. We'll dust ourselves down, pull our pants up, and go for it. Right?
I'm trying to do the best I can for Nottingham Forest, isn't it?
Billy, Steve Cooper's not Indian.
I couldn't believe it. We showed such passion.
Oh, God. Billy, where are you? I need to keep scrolling.
506, miles down.
Yeah,
okay.
Miles and miles. And what are you going to put his transfers up, Alex, and make a fool of him? Are you?
Maybe. It depends on how you made.
Adverts.
Tom says John Cross of the Mirror reporting that most games will go ahead next weekend, but doubts over Brentford versus Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool.
Probably for the best, given that other team that's playing.
Yeah. Rachel won't be around until Friday night as she's in holidays and cabin in the woods.
Very nice.
Very Blair Witch.
Don't watch the film.
I love some of these names, by the way. Shout out to Daniel Marshall with Balotelli Tubbies. That's amazing.
Some of them are great, actually. Some of them are great. Ryan says, as for starters, I can only see Cher being a starter, the rest bench personally. I don't know who he was talking about there, but ASM got goal of the month, didn't he? Yes. Mary says, I seemed to find animals in the woods. Well, yes, you do. Yes. Rachel, hopefully it looks nothing like the cabin in the Evil Dead. Oh, let's really make her look forward to going on holidays. Botman's first goal is going to be a monstrous header from a corner that rattles the goal. It's coming, says Stiff Gators. I hope you're right. Billy, what was your rank again? 500 and what?
6th.
Geordie Howe man says, my son was playing FIFA today and his opponent had Ryan Fraser as his centre-half.
What do you mean?
Yeah, for some reason the AI does that occasionally. If you don't do the updates, the AI will put some, I've seen some weird stuff.
Yeah. Ken says, hi all, did anybody notice King Charles' pocket the penny used? If you're not having a look back at it, absolutely pissed myself laughing. Juve are 2-0 down to, what I can only describe as some kind of oranges. Satsuma
Salernitana.
Sorry, who?
Salernitana.
Gary says, wax on, wax off, bollocks. Yeah, that's just my new thing. Wax on, wax off, bollocks, ouch. I don't remember that in the script, says Andrew. Oven Chip says, I'm 51st. Big up the M6 toll rockets. I was hoping to be 610th. Andrew DB, I don't either, but Paul must have watched a different version to us. Andy says, wax on, wax off bollocks. TDR should be sponsored by Manscaped, men's personal hygiene products. Well, there's a funny story. We almost were.
Yeah, we last October or something, was it?
Yeah, they sent me everything. But then
What do you mean everything?
They sent me the whole package.
Oh my God, TMI.
Susan!
Oh.
No, to be honest, I'll never... Listen. What I found difficult was...
Oh, no.
No. We're not going there, Billy. That's your mind going down there. I'm not. What I was going to say is... I didn't agree with the money they were wanting for us to do it. Commission-wise, it didn't work out for me at all, right? They sent me all the stuff, but it was then, commission. But it was then about, how do I advertise this? Because I've seen some other channels sponsored by Manscaped, and they look very uncomfortable advertising it. Now, the only thing I could have seen was to get maybe an item of fruit that's hairy and try and shave that. And pretend it's a testy, right? But I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I couldn't have done it with a straight face, Billy. I mean, can you imagine Susan trying to film it and me sitting there with this razor and a kiwi fruit with hair on it and thinking, and this is your pretend testicle. Look how it glides on the surface. It doesn't nip at all.
It's perfect for TTR Friday.
Well, yeah, I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it with a straight face. No way. So, yeah. But
you don't have to advertise it with a straight face, to be fair.
Well, next time
if you were doing your own,
I'll tell them to send you the equipment, right? And you can, you can do the advert.
I'll shave a fruit. That's fine.
With a straight face?
With a straight face.
Bollocks. No way.
No fruit.
I think you will.
No. But look, I mean, listen, I've never seen anybody actually do an advert for Manscaped with the actual 2 veg, right? Because it would be wrong.
Well, because they're not allowed.
Well, no, they're not allowed. But what's the point? You say, ooh, how trim your garden, trim your man garden, and all of this. And I'm thinking, who calls it a man garden in the first place?
I had to get this trimmer to mine, to be fair.
It's just no, right? So can we move on from Manscaped now? Thank you.
I've found his fantasy team.
Okay, right.
Talking of bollocks, is it?
Yeah, here we go. Here's Billy Bob Coleman's team. Billy, would you like to talk us through it?
Yeah, absolute bunch of wankers, every single one of them. This is quite a new version, actually. I've done a few transfers lately.
Yeah, this looks all right.
Oh, well, we'll get to see them in a minute, Billy. Don't you worry about that.
Pope's always has been a mainstay of the fucking shit that I'm going through. Zinchenko's been on and off the bench with his injuries. Botman, yeah, he's been okay. Cucurella, kind of okay. It's that Egyptian twat in midfield that's cost me all the points. And
why is he a captain, Billy?
Because I expected him to score loads of goals, and I triple captain of the week, and I was expecting him, if I keep taking his goals out, if I take him off, he'll score. And there's my front three, which has changed, obviously, because I got rid of, can't think who I got rid of, but whoever it was shit. Kane, I bought Jesus in the other week, and I got rid of Antonio. That's one of the ones I got rid of.
And he scored.
As soon as I did, he scored, yeah. This is why I don't want to get rid of Salah. And there's me.
Oh, that's an expensive bench. Bloody hell. Oh, I guess Spence and Raya isn't.
Spence never plays. Basuma never plays. Has hardly played at all. He's been kind of. He might be the next one going, Basuma. And I think Fafana will come in the next couple of weeks because I think he'll start playing more.
Only 4 transfers. You got a bit of money in the bank. Let's have a look at the transfer history. So you swap Bruno for Paqueta. Interesting.
Ooh,
that's
controversial.
I think
Paqueta's going to be shit, by the way. I just know it.
Oh, he'll be now. I've signed him absolutely. 100%.
Well, exactly.
You had the opportunity in this little cluster to bring in Haaland, and you chose not to.
I'm too far. Yeah, I'm still trying to win it. It's a marathon, not a sprint kind of shit. And if I get Haaland, I'm just going to be the same, aren't I? So I need to get more.
Yeah, well, Haaland's going to be on 25 goals by Christmas, Billy.
He will be, yeah. But if I bring him in, actually, I might do it because as soon as I bring him in, he'll break his leg. You can guarantee
No.
it.
don't touch Haaland.
I mean, look, it's not a transfer list that looks like mine, to be fair, Billy. I think you've done all right there.
I think the DS for Maddison is a smart one, definitely. The Jesus for Darwin Nunez at the moment makes sense, but you never know. Nunez might come back in and galvanise this Liverpool slump. Probably will do. Now you've changed it.
Yeah, Jesus will drop like a stone, and Jesus, I should say, not Jesus, and Darwin will score millions. That's what.
I'm not happy you've got Isak in because now he's not going to play well.
Well, yeah, I got him in the day before he missed that open goal, that 1-on-1. So yeah, I've already started.
That bodes well for all of us, doesn't
it?
Yeah.
And Antonio scored the same day, so
awesome.
Just call me Jonas.
Jonas, yes. Cesare says, Paul, please do Rocket Man with Billy on the guitar. I've tried Rocket Man, and Susan doesn't like my voice on it, so I don't know.
Of course, Elton John, well known for his guitar work.
Yeah, he was. Sorry, he's not dead yet.
Oh my God.
Evening, Elton. Up the A1 says Tuchel could attract top players where Potter couldn't. So got them in because of his reputation, then sacked him and got Potter because of his coaching skills.
Interesting thought, yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, we'll fit that in, Alex. Don't worry. Comments. Where we got? I've missed some comments. Stiff Gate. This is Mario Balotelli is the only Italian player to ever win the Premier League. That's a crazy start. That is mental.
Yeah, that was doing the rounds a few weeks ago, wasn't it?
Yeah. Abs Botman's first goal will be ruled out by VAR for pushing. Rachel's as hard as nails, apparently. Okay. Bradley says, making me feel like the black sheep of the family for not being in the league already. Sorry for disappointing you, Paul. Bradley, disgrace. You should hang your head in shame.
Get him in. We'll go up a place.
That's a good point.
For a week or two.
Chippers.
Bradley, drop us an email, mate. The email address is at the bottom of the description. Drop us an email and I'll send you the link. Finally got my Saudi third kit with MILF Hunter 1 on the back. You're just an idiot. Yeah. There has already been a convo earlier. I don't know what the hell people are talking about tonight. When did centre-half start meaning CBs? I'm nearly 100% convinced centre-half used to mean centre-mid when I was a kid. Cesare, you've had a story there, mate. I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Half-backs and registas, but no, centre-half is a centre-back.
Yeah.
Or half-back.
Maybe that's some kind of shark wrestling term, Cesare, you're getting mixed up with, buddy. Geordie Howayman says hairy lemons. I wouldn't feel right shaving hairy lemons. Get Wilson volleyball from movie Castaway and shave its hair. Yep. I just don't feel comfortable shaving hairy lemons, okay? Hairy lemons. I just logged on. What's with razors and fruits, Ian? You really don't want to know, matey. You know, we discuss everything on TTR shows. You know, whether it be a Friday or a Sunday. Julie says peaches are very hairy. Yeah, but they're very thin. They are very hairy, but they wouldn't come across very well on camera. I don't think they sort of stand out enough. You know, they're like very wispy hairs, aren't they?
And you tear the flesh, wouldn't you?
You would, Billy, yes. Well, apparently you don't on the Lawnmower 3.0, by the way. I just have to say that. Good evening, Manscaped. But you don't. It doesn't nip the skin, apparently. I mean, I've never tried it.
You do know that they're not sponsoring the show, don't you? So
I do, yes.
You stop talking about the product.
Well, I mean, Gary says use coconuts. A bit rough, but plenty of texture.
Of course.
It'd be a bit bumpy. Tony says, get your girl to do it, Paul. It's much more fun. Susan wouldn't go. I wouldn't. No. Steve says, one slip and you're a Russian player. Ivan Nakarov. But again, it protects. It doesn't. It doesn't nip. Interesting 4-3 formation, says Ian. Billy's team is similar to mine, says Julie J. Well,
yeah, it's shit.
Yeah, at least he's honest, guys. You know what I mean? He's not trying to sort of big himself up like Steve Bruce used to. Jim says, evening all here from the start, but it's on the TV, so can't comment. So a quick phone comment. I've dropped to 517th. Well,
I remember when I was that shit.
Yeah. If you're below Billy, then you need to hang your head in shame. Seriously. That is traitorous. Paqueta for Bruno, says Stiff Gators. Yeah, Billy, that's just a disgrace, actually. Stu says, I'm surprised they're allowed to call it Manscaped these days. It won't be long before the outrage mob noticing it will be renamed Personscaped. Yeah, I know exactly where you're going with that. Nobody else is laughing on the panel because they're all PC and don't want to upset everyone. Well, you are in your new role. You've become much more sort of diplomatic these days.
Wow.
Chipper says, my down below region is like a jungle. Need the council to get their shears. Expect Donkey Kong to come out bombing out of it. Chipper's
also means it's untouched.
Sorry, mate?
It also means untouched by human hands, apart from his, of course.
Yeah, still a virgin. Ab says, Isaac didn't miss an open goal. Please correct Billy Stato with your XG magic.
I'd correct myself, the one-on-one.
True.
Yeah. Okay. Chipper says, I can't be asked. If a woman doesn't like it, she can deal with it. Well, I'm sure that, if a woman said that about... I remember a scene, I don't know whether you guys can, it was one of those... Billy, you're laughing already? You haven't even heard what I'm going to say yet, man.
I've just got a feeling.
It was one of them, like, spoof films, like a sort of spoof off of one of the films. And she removed her underwear, and then this big afro popped out. I can't remember what the film was. I think it was like a scary movie kind of film, but it was it just anyway. Moving on. William says Maxi is going to come back from injury as a world beater. The loss of the dreads mean he can finally see the correct pass or shot.
Or it could be Samson.
Well, it'll be his first game with Isak, so link up.
Exactly.
Well, you never know. We might get a Wilson magical surprise as well.
Star Citizen says, how can I join the fantasy footy?
You have to put the link out again, Paul.
Hang on. You know what? Where are we at here?
Is it in the banners?
No, I don't think it is. I'll put the link in the chat, Billy. Just give us a second. Invite, copy, auto join link, and then we'll nip across to YouTube, and then we'll hit that button there. Then we'll go into that one, and then we'll go into that one. Oh, I need to turn the sound off on that one. I'm getting two Billies whistling here. And then we'll go into there, hit that, hit paste.
NFL started again today, hasn't it? I've got it on now, and as usual, my TV doing shite.
I'm not interested in NFL, to be honest. I can't get away with it anymore. I just think it's and they call it football. I just it doesn't right. If you're not in the fantasy football league for the Toon Review, the link is now pinned at the top of the live comments. Get yourself in there. The code is already as part of the link, so if you've already got your team set up and everything, you'll be straight into the league. So there you go. Just click on that and you're in. Ab says 2 kiwi fruit and a banana, and the advert is good to go. I see where you're going with that, Abs. I just don't feel comfortable shaving hairy lemons.
You just wrote down what you said, and it's still making me laugh.
Well, would you feel comfortable shaving hairy lemons, Billy?
I don't know. Maybe.
Alex?
How attractive she was.
Danielle, would you, if I give you the Manscaped equipment to do an advert, would you shave 2 hairy lemons?
I mean, how are we making the lemons hairy?
Well, no, I would not.
Well, I guess we let them go off for a while and then they start growing hairs.
Oh, God.
I don't know.
Gonna mess up all the equipment, all the good stuff.
Yeah. How about plugging Blue Chew? I've heard about this Blue Chew on TikTok. The Americans are advertising it. It's apparently just a Blue Chew, which makes you sort of run around with 3 legs for a while. It's a kind of alternative to Viagra.
Oh, God.
This has been the Toon Review. Thanks for watching. We're now going off the air permanently.
No, but look, hey, it would sound good. The Toon Review sponsored by Blue Chew. I mean, it's got a rhyme there. but it is legitimately a product, which
sounds like you've mispronounced Blue's Clues. To be honest,
maybe, but there is Blue Chew out there. There is undoubtedly Blue Chew, and listen. It's if the more people have it, you're going to have a situation like War of the Worlds, when there's just tripods running around trying to kill you everywhere.
Wow.
That's what Blue Chew does. Apparently, I haven't looked into it. I don't need it. I have Susan.
Oh my god.
Anyway, Manscaped getting free advertising right here. Indeed, they are. Kate says, "Hi, Paul. Do you think that the Newcastle game will go ahead next Saturday?" Indeed, I do. Definitely, 100%. Tom says, "Never mind, Alex von Stato. One wrong move with the Manscaped, and it could be Paul von Bollock." Andrew says, "Or Lemonscaped, me old fruit." Billy, take out Salah and get Kevin De Bruyne. You may get more goals.
That's a good idea. As soon as I get him out there, he'll have his injuries from problems will start. So I think I'll stick jinxing Salah, I think.
Yeah, indeed. What do lasses prefer, Harry or Kojak? I don't bloody know. She said, "I guess it's been a while." Was it not in Austin? It may have been in Austin Powers. Yes, it may well have been. Phoenix Pork Pie says, "Full back, centre half, half back, wingers, inside right, inside left, centre forward. I remember them well." Chesra said it was the Wayans brothers making fun of Macy Gray on the MTV Awards, Paul, the Afro pubes. No, it was definitely in a film as well. I do remember that. Yes, hopefully our injured players are all fully fit by the time the Premier League resumes. It was Scary Movie, says Aaron. I thought it was. Bradley says, "Scary Movie, got the hedge trimmer out." Yes, I remember. Yes, indeed. Tom says, "American football to stop-start, worse than rugby." I can't get away with it. I just can't. But there you go. What about the American Pie wedding, and what happened to the wedding cake?
I don't watch them kind of films, mate. It's not my thing.
Yeah. Have you not seen that?
I think I watched the pictures to watch that.
Did you?
The pictures?
So, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
I love the way Billy says pictures. I mean, God forbid. I mean, Alex, you kick off at me for my pronunciation of things and not speaking the good old King's English as it is now. And he comes out with pictures instead of cinema. I mean, that must rile you up.
I mean, I still say pictures, to be fair.
Oh, kiss my head. There's no way on God's planet Earth you say pictures, living where it's talking like you do. No way.
Cinema, that's really new.
I'm going, because you're the type of person that would come out with, "I'm going to the cinema after dinner." It's just straight away.
Cinema's a really American word for me. I say pictures.
There you go.
Not having it.
The talkies.
Oven Chip says, "One wrong move with the razor and you could be Paul Dickburn." Oh, yes. Susan says, "I am a woman," in case anyone's confused.
That's a fantastic kind of post, that is.
Susan, what? Francisco said that's what she said. Chippers, is Blue Chew a flashlight? You won't need it, Chippers,
Wow.
believe me. I think we're going to have a charity night one night for Chippers to send him off to Amsterdam to get rid of his virginity. I think it needs to happen. Andy says, "Worries me that they keep advertising 20% off." Exactly. Yeah. Paul says, "Paul, I've joined the Toon Review Fantasy League. Now I am ready for a challenge. Cannot wait." Oh, it's a challenge. It's a challenge. Ab says, "What's it like being compared to a Blue Chew, Susan?" I didn't compare her at all. Don't get me in the wrong. Susan's laughing at it now. So I'd just like to say, I didn't compare it to no Blue Chew, right? Susan is better than a Blue Chew. That's what I meant.
You used to be on Trumpton or Cambric Green, Blue Chew, Barney McGrew, Cuthbert, Dibble and Grub.
I think so, Billy, yeah.
It's hard like a magic spell.
They used to slide down a pole and that, didn't they?
Yeah.
Crazy enough.
Anyway, Andrew says, "Centre-backs, half-backs, inside right. You do the hokey-cokey and you turn around." Yeah.
Inverted wing backs, that's where it's at.
Yeah.
Davide Santon, he's retired. Yes. There's our
not
inverted
Davide.
fullback.
It's David.
David.
It's
Is
not
it
Davide.
I mean, he's Italian. It could be both. I don't speak Italian.
It could be just David at the same time. But
I mean, he married a Geordie, so he's David.
He
let's
did.
Be honest.
He did indeed. Best of luck in his retirement, though. In all seriousness, good luck for the future.
He marked for anybody who doesn't remember Santon. He marked Cristiano Ronaldo out of a game when he was a 17-year-old fullback for Mourinho. He used to be incredible.
Didn't Level 7 Dave have him in his dream team?
You did, yeah?
I'm sure he did.
Level 7 Dave wanted to bring him back in the summer. You know, with all the others that he mentioned. Yeah. Tom says Americans would call it the movie theater.
True.
Yeah, we're after the movies.
Film. The drive-in.
Blue's Clues, says Mary. Actually, there's an outdoor Harrington Park, I think, near Sunderland. They're having a big outdoor, a drive-in movie theater. And I think it's Dirty Dancing that they're putting on.
Oh yes.
Oh,
so you can just see everybody dancing on the rooftops of the cars, can't you?
Yeah, that's a weird movie to show for drive-in because you're all going to be in the cars and they're all going to try and replicate.
Oh, they'll be out the cars, they'll be dancing on the bonnets and all sorts, and then they'll do that final move at the end that you can see all the girlfriends and wives running up.
And then the three ambulances that are parked,
up the windscreen, onto the roof. The boyfriends or husbands totally miss them and they fly off the other way. You can just see it happening now.
The beetle bonnets.
Sorry?
Beetle bonnets. Go back to Manscaped again. Back to Manscaped again, sorry.
Okay.
Manscaped.
Yeah. It takes a real man to be a woman. Local hero says, I dare you to Manscaped blindfolded. Well, see, it wouldn't bother me because I can locate my area quite easily due to the...
all right, shut up.
We'll move on.
Listen, I would have to do it blindfolded because I can't see it anyway. Only half of it.
Oh, I'm so lucky I was muted then.
Compose. Yeah. Samsonite says he could make the ad as a public service announcement.
He didn't say public, though, does he?
Oh, I've just realised that, yes. Mary says polls are useful. I'm just waiting for Billy to say something now. I just... Yeah. Ab says, sorry, Paul, the last thing I intended was to get you into hot water. You haven't got me into hot water. Listen, Susan's got the best personality in the world. She's just a bigger joker as me, so don't worry about that. Italian would indeed be Davide. Oh, Tom Sodoff agreeing with him, man. You and your bloody posh pronunciations as well, Tom. Davide. Honestly. Mary says a lot of things, such as sliding down when firefighters are using them. Okay. Rachel says, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and press the bell. I mean, the bell's been quite prominent tonight to get notifications when uploads and live shows are on. Why wouldn't you, with great content like this, and it's free? Thank you, Rachel. Very well said indeed. Ashley 80 says, hiya all, I thought drive through like Billy. Indeed. If you're outside in your car in a drive-in, you're doing it wrong. Drive-ins have nothing to do with the movie. Aye, Cesare. Aye. Yeah, we know what Cesare is there with his... Well, we won't go into it, but we know what he means.
Do you want to hear the real pronunciation?
Oh, come on then. Davide. I can't believe you've gone to that length to prove a point, Alex.
Do you know me at all? Of course, I'll go to endless lengths to prove a point.
That's a very yes.
Endless
I was going to say that's a what?
Endless lengths.
Endless.
Oh, come on.
Manscaped can go to endless lengths because they've got a battery of about an hour and a half. Ancients of Mulu says, cue the tumbleweed for Billy.
Well, we're not shaving that, are we?
The only people... The The only people that are going to use Manscaped are footballers, right? You know, because they don't want any hairs on the body. You know, us real men don't need posh shit like.
What are you doing? Stop doing it.
What? No, I've just.
He's dropped his strimmer.
Us real men do not need to shave like that because I'm sure that women prefer their men, you know, not like babies' asses. Right. So, yeah. Stephen's just joined the Fantasy Football League. Thank you, Stephen. That puts us up a place again. Ashley 80 says, Billy just made me think of Family Guy episode with Stevie running around saying, find a penis at the fat person group. Frank says, when I first started to follow football, the setup was called the W formation. 2 fullbacks, 3 halfbacks, and 5 forwards.
Indeed.
That was a long time ago.
That's the early 50s, yeah. Spurs were the first people to do that in the early 50s.
Yeah. Why don't firefighters just start off on the ground?
Good point, nice.
Yeah. Chipper says there's even an anaconda in my jungle. Oh, wait. Rachel says Ghostbusters had a poll as well. They did.
I'm Batman.
What?
I'm Batman.
Well, the old Batman did, but the newer Batmans didn't.
On the telly, yeah. The telly one.
I mean, it was a bit silly sliding down a pole and then suddenly, you know, as they're sliding down, he manages to get changed into that. I've seen a clip of actually the old Batman today with Adam West on Twitter running around with the bomb. I don't know whether you can remember that clip, Billy, when he's running on the pier with the bomb. And he's got nuns running at him, and then he can't chuck it in the sea because there's ducks. When have you ever seen baby chicks in the sea? I mean, Jesus Christ, it's incredible. Andy says Michelangelo got it wrong. Then so much for being a genius. I think Manscaped owe you some money by now. Indeed, they do. Tom says that blue chew sounds like Piagra chewing gum on Phoenix nights.
Put your ass away, man.
Yeah. Julie's gone up a place due to people joining. She's now 553rd.
No, they'll join below you, Danny, so you won't go up any.
Yeah.
Ah, that sucks.
Anyway, see how much trouble I'm in after one comment on poll action. Mary, you shouldn't say that when you know. Did the banana splits have a poll?
Yes, I think they did.
Did they?
And one of them looked like Jurgen Klopp.
Yeah, well, yeah. Does Manscaped sponsor her game too?
Manscaped?
Manscaped.
I can't associate myself with that comment.
Of course not.
I don't blame you.
No. Footballers, is that a sweaty crotch syndrome? Yeah, well,
plenty of talcum powder.
It's just like them idiots who put what do they do? They put like the Vaseline on the nipples or something to stop nipple burn or something.
Oh yeah.
Which, given Castor is, fantastic products, it's very easy to do.
That's very needed if you do long distance running.
Yeah, I agree.
Have you not had that before?
I don't do that, but I've seen it.
I used to get bad chafage when I played ice hockey.
Do you know something else that they've stopped doing? And this is football now. People used to put Vicks down the shirts. Remember that kind of phase they went through?
I used to do that, playing ice hockey.
They don't do it anymore, do they? They don't do it anymore. Nor that little band they used to have across there. They made them look adamant.
Well, Robbie Fowler's was just to keep his nails over so he could snort the sidelines. Allegedly, yes. But I used to put vapor rub on me hockey jersey because the vapes kept the old nasal clear. J-Law says, guys, give you a hint. Don't have too high a priced keepers. Spread the money. Have whichever keeper you want and have your second keeper at 4 million. You only ever use one keeper, so it's wasted money on the bench.
No, that's what I did. I did do that. And but I have when Newcastle played Man City, for instance, I brought Raya in because Brentford were playing whoever it was. I thought he was a better choice, but there you go.
Yeah,
and it worked actually. That was one of the things that did work for me.
Yeah, the only thing. Local Hero says, "Have you seen the Rainbow episode? 1 skin, 2 skin, 3 skin, 4."
Of course we've seen it. We were watching it.
Jeffrey, are you trying to pull a fast one there?
We know what he was talking about. He was talking about his willy, wasn't he, Jeffrey?
Yes, Jeffrey. That's a bundle of Jeffrey Jones. I don't know why I burst into a pirate when I first did that there. A har. I've never heard Zippy go R in my life, but there you go. Ancient Zamumu says you're up another place. I've just joined. I'd say go Ward. He's shite, but a 4. Playing keeper, so just leave him on the bench. You're welcome. He's having a mare at the minute. Absolutely a mare at Leicester City. Tom says, I remember the old Batman when it was repeated in the 80s. There was an episode with a flight, and one of the daft words that popped up when shown in the States was wank, but they edited it over here. Yeah, they used to put crazy words on there. Crazy words. Burt Ward was supposedly very famous for something else. Really?
Interested in that now. What was Burt Ward famous for? Was it a Buddy Holly top situation? Because he was apparently famous for something else as well.
What, like largely endowed?
Oh.
Okay. Anyway.
Ridiculously largely endowed, apparently.
I know the feeling. Tom says, in the 90s, lots of players would wear cycling shorts underneath their normal shorts. You don't see that anymore.
You don't, that's right.
Ben said, I wish I'd put Vaseline on my nipples before the Great North Run because they're stinging so bad right now.
Good for you, Ben.
Yeah, well done, matey. Yeah, definitely. Mark says it costs a bomb in bog roll for a hairy arse. I know, but local hero says, your Zippy is the funniest thing ever.
Can I mention something about the Great North Run, by the way?
Yes, you can, Alex.
It is a bit controversial, and I'm gonna separate myself from you three just to say this comment, just in case, because it's risky. But I'm very annoyed by this. I'm really frustrated at the fact that Oliver Holt has represented the Sir Bobby Robson Foundation to run for the Great North Run after constantly slagging off this club for a long time. I saw on their Twitter about they'd got this new shirt for the team to do the Great North Run. I offered to buy one. I wanted to buy one. They don't sell them. The admin didn't reply to me at all. I was quite happy to send them some money for a shirt and support the cause. And he gets to represent and run and raise money after the filth he said about our club. I just think it's very disrespectful. And I think there's no, I mean, I don't know why I should be scared to say that, because there's no accountability on his part to be extremely rude and way over the top towards a fan base. Considering, it just frustrated me slightly. So I know it's not TTR Friday.
I wish I'd gone. I wish I'd gone and I would have thrown some hairy lemons at him.
I'd be happy to do anything for the Sir Bobby Robson Foundation. I'm just frustrated that he's got to, just because of his position that he's abusing to effectively pick and choose who to support in the Middle East. It's ridiculous.
Geordie Howayman says, Batman hit me with a vase and said Tapow. I said, do you not mean Kapow? He said, no, I had China in my hands.
That is very good.
Oh, brilliant. I had the blue Brazil shirt from the 98 World Cup, went to footy training on a Wednesday. I swear I woke up on Thursday with totally eroded nipples. Eroded nipples.
Oh,
God. Danielle just looks completely exhausted by you three tonight.
I feel it.
That's what she's here for, to keep everything intact.
Yeah.
It's
a struggle.
Stu says, has Zippy recently had a stroke? Possibly.
Oh, I think he definitely has you. That's right. He's always stroking something.
Ashley 80 says, I still have an NUFC top from mid-80s, but my grandfather was the office ticket manager on at St. James's back then. Tom says, I wouldn't mind if he had problems, but him and Miguel Delaney are massive hypocrites, and when questioned about it, they won't answer.
And they just block you like you block me.
Thing. Yeah, but the fact that they don't answer about it, it's, but there you have it. Right, that is it for tonight, guys. I hope you've enjoyed our little bit of fantasy football and a bit banter and a bit crack. and a bit stupidity, which just to bring you up to date with all the crack. But Alex, yes, my memory is terrible. You've got some little things to go through that you wanted to see on Friday.
Yeah, just things that people might not, for people who aren't super active on social media, for things that they might have missed. I'm not sure what you guys have mentioned necessarily, but about the fact that we're linked with Chris Rigg, the young 15-year-old from Sunderland.
Mm-hmm.
So we might be nabbing him for 2.5 million. Sorry, and he was actually the youth England captain against Italy away the other day. So interesting. And Lennon Miller from Motherwell, another young talent that we're linked with. So that's two very good starlets from sort of the north. Also, Andreas Kasper, a new performance nutritionist, has joined the club. Progress, more staff, trying to improve process. And then we got linked the other day with Andre Santos from Vasco da Gama, from the second Brazilian tier. So we got linked with another young Brazilian from multiple foreign sources.
It's very strange, Newcastle United being linked with a Brazilian, isn't it? It's mental.
Strange mentioning Brazilians tonight, really. Let's be honest.
Indeed, yeah.
So that was it. I just wanted to just throw in. These were little small bits of news that for people who don't browse Twitter, football Twitter, as much as I do. Just
well done, Alex.
Absolutely. Well done. Now, tomorrow night, don't miss this one. Does Joe Linton make the World Cup? We will be asking that question tomorrow night, and also we'll be sort of building up to the World Cup, looking at the players for Newcastle United who may well star in the World Cup. We'll be talking about, obviously, Joe Linton's chances of getting there, obviously how Bruno may perform, Trippier, Nick Pope. Is there anybody else that may squeeze into the squad or for their countries? We wait and see. So it should be a great show. It should be an excellent show tomorrow night. We'll go through all the players in much more detail and have a chat. Join us in the live chat and let us know what you think. Should players like Joe Linton be in that World Cup? It's going to be a great show. Back to actually talking football tomorrow night, which will be nice. Yeah, it should be a great show. But thank you very much for everybody joining tonight. It's been a good laugh, as we thought it would be, just to sort of finish the weekend off with a bit of a giggle after a tough few days for the country. But we like to do our bit. So thank you very much to everybody for watching. Thank you to you three as usual. Thank you to the mod squad as well for keeping the chat nice and friendly. And we will see you tomorrow night, bang on 8 o'clock, or knowing me, maybe a minute after. But we will see you around that time tomorrow night for a great show. Until then.
Good night, guys.
Away the lads and lasses.